I mean, it's very, very rare you're going to have a kid who grew up in the area and wants to play for your team. When he does that, they don't have the first pick. I mean, I can understand if they had Arizona, if they had the first pick, which they do, and he was saying, man, you know something, I grew up in the Arizona area, I want to play. Even if he was the third or fourth ranked player, that's the type of attitude, and it's very rare. But they have a situation that's really prepared for them. Man, you got a Jersey kid that can play football professionally in Jersey. And I think that what they did last year when they passed up on the quarterback, and yes, they got potentially a once-every-generation player in Barkley, but I think his attitude and his personality, I believe, matches up with Haskins, that they feel like if we have Haskins our quarterback, Barkley is our tailback, also a New York kid, born and raised in New York area. So I think their personalities match up moving forward compared to some of the other personalities that they have in that locker room. So I think Gettleman fell in love because I know Haskins. He's an easygoing, good-looking, smiling kid, and he can throw the ball.
And he can play in this division in this weather.
Yes.
That's the other part of it. Like, you're going to play in the NFC East. You're going to play in the Northeast. Like,
means you got to be able to throw a ball that the wind's not going to affect it as much. Now, people don't give Eli a lot of credit. Eli actually has a better arm than Peyton Manning. Yes, I said that. Eli Manning has a better arm than Peyton Manning, but he's not a better passer of the football than Peyton Manning. So Haskins' arm and how he throws the ball and delivers the football does suit the Giants.
To me, this would erase any bad feelings about last year, about not taking Darnold or Rosen or Allen or whomever they would have taken if they would have drafted a quarterback at number 2. Because I happen to think Haskins is better than all the quarterbacks in last year's draft except for Baker. Now, I understand some of the draft analysts are saying both Haskins and Kyler Murray would be the 5th quarterback if they were in last year's class. I disagree with that. I think Dwayne Haskins is excellent. I think Dwayne Haskins just proved as much as you can prove in 1 year of college football, short of doing what Cam Newton did, which was be an offense unto himself en route to an undefeated season. Here's my concern if I'm the Giants. If recent NFL draft history tells you anything, he ain't going to be there at 6. Right. 2015, 2 quarterbacks taken, 1 and 2. 2016, 2 quarterbacks taken, 1 and 2. 2018, 2 quarterbacks taken, 1 and 3. If the quarterback is the first pick of the draft, as Kyler Murray is likely going to be, it would appear, that next quarterback is coming off the board before number 6. So, are the Giants willing to trade up with the New York Jets? Are the Giants willing to trade up to make sure they get the guy? I would be. Even though I know they have other needs, none of it's going to matter if you're trotting out their 38-year-old Eli Manning with Kyle Lauletta as his backup. Like, none of that's going to matter if you don't have the right quarterback in place. So I would move up to get Dwayne Haskins if that's what I have to do, and they got to take the temperature of the draft and figure out how far up they would have to move to ensure they get him.
Is that a likely scenario? We hear all this story about the Jets aren't going to deal with the Giants. They have crosstown rivals. But can they realistically do it? And if not, what are their other options?
Well, the Jets, they got to try to get better. Yeah. And if they can utilize the draft pick, I don't think the Jets' room as far as their draft will be like, you know something, we're not going to make this deal because it's with the Giants. But when you look at it with Arizona being there, if they go for a quarterback, the Raiders sitting there at 4, they need a quarterback. That's why at 6, you have to be able to move off of their you're in love with Haskins. And, man, these quarterbacks, man, forget about the ratings and everything. These teams on draft day, man, they're moving up to get those quarterbacks. Like, they might say they don't want him, oh, he's not drafted that high. But on draft day, everything changed, and that's what we've been seeing in the NFL, and guys are picked higher than what they're actually rated.
Think about the last 7 quarterbacks drafted. Carson Wentz traded up to go get him. Jared Goff, they traded up to go get him. Patrick Mahomes, Chiefs traded up to go get him. Deshaun Watson, they traded up to go get him. Mitch Trubisky traded up to go get him. Sam Darnold, they traded up to go get him. Baker was just sitting there. I mean, I shouldn't say it was just sitting there. The Browns had the worst record in football, so they didn't have to trade up. But typically, you got to move up to go get your guy.
And one way or another, the Giants need to do something at the quarterback position. So they're going to have to do everything they can either to move up or see what. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.